Hello everyone, this is Minty Fries, and the other day I was hanging out with a mime mask whilst watching Jim Carrey's The Mask whilst playing Majora's Mask. And I thought, gee, it would be a fun task to 3D print all of the masks from Majora's Mask. So today that's what we will do. Let's open up Blender. Okay, so let me ask you this. I am sure many of you have played Majora's Mask, but have you ever played it with a Game Shark? Specifically, have you ever used the cheat that lets you be the fierce deity while in the overworld? Talk about fun. I sort of understand why the devs limited usage of the fierce deity mask to boss fights only in the game. Using the mask everywhere else kind of makes playing the game as Link, or even as Deku, Zora, or Goron Link, somewhat lackluster by comparison. In fact, it is sort of like overkill when you become so powerful that the very existence of your overwhelming power makes the game boring. It is the equivalent of giving you infinite ammo for the best weapon in a shooter. After firing 500 bazooka rounds at the pitiable pistol-wielding peasants squabbling beneath your feet, playing the game loses its challenge and thus becomes rote. Like, have you ever used the infinite plastic explosive cheat in GoldenEye? Or infinite nuke gun in Turok? It is fun to use those things with impunity for a while, but then you quickly realize that a game without challenge is, well, not much of a game. Sort of makes you understand why Saitama is so bored all the time. It reminds me of a time I once beat a multinational curling competition as a sweeper and won a huge cash prize and was crowned the best curling sweeper of all time. But after all that I eventually blew through the money, so I really needed a job, and the only thing I was qualified to do was to be a janitor. I swept those floors so damn well it wore down the linoleum and I was fired. Okay, we are done with the modeling, and of course I printed all of these masks. I was thinking lately that since my 3D printer sucks so bad and leaves so many ugly layer lines in my prints, maybe I should get an SLA resin printer, like an Elegoo Mars. But I don't really feel like spending that kind of money right now. Plus, resin printers are messy and, compared to FDM, tricky to work with. But the print quality of those things is really something else. I need to get something off of my chest that's somewhat embarrassing. I never actually collected all of the masks in Majora's Mask. When I had the Fierce Deity's mask while playing as a kid, that was purely through the Game Shark. I used Game Shark on basically every game as a kid, and I kind of regret not taking on real challenges of games back then. Playing a game straight really builds character and skill. Plus, collecting the masks for real is, well, fun. I beat Majora's Mask again about 4 years ago, and getting the masks I got was quite enjoyable. I really need to fire up that game again and beat it all the way. The payoff for some of the masks is quite generous. Getting the stone mask, for instance, is a bit of a pain, wasting magic with the lens of truth to find Shiro, and then you realize he needs a potion that you don't have on hand, so you have to go back to town to get one and then go back to Ikana Valley Road. But if there's anything I hate, it's stealth missions, so I basically can't do the Pirate's Fortress without that mask. I can't take that kind of stress. I am just glad that the game gives those of us who hate stealth an easier way into the fortress. And remember when you get the Camaro's mask and that lets you do Camaro's dance in front of the Rosa sisters and they literally bow on the ground at your feet to honor your skills, after being so stuck up towards you earlier. That's a good feel, man. It is kind of disappointing that you don't really use that mask anywhere else, though. There should have been an alternate ending where you challenge Majora to a dance-off to save the world, like in Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, here are the finished prints. The Goron mask looks like it wants to roll around with Goat all day with not a care in the world. The Deku mask looks like it wants nothing more than to buy the deed to the best Deku bush in Termina and settle down. The Zora's mask looks like it wants to kick out the jams and lay down some chunky grooves on the Guitar of Waves. The Fierce Deity mask looks like it wants to literally be worth more than all of the other masks in the game combined. And Majora's mask looks like it's just so lonely. Why does nobody ever call anymore? Why doesn't it have any friends? Well, thanks for joining me, and if you tune in next time, we will continue painting more masks. And let me tell you, after recording this and saying the word masks all those times, I realized that the sound you make while saying it kind of sounds like a techno beat. Just like
the sacred Jedi texts.
We already have the classic boots and cats techno beat, but is the world ready for masks and texts, masks and texts, masks and texts, masks and texts, masks and texts?